Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about ways that you can save money on your knife purchases. Now, we're going to talk a lot about vintage knives, just different things you can do to save money on acquiring those. But it also applies to new knives, and I use the same principles to buy new knives also. And I'm talking about hundreds of dollars, saving a lot of money by using these principles and techniques that I'm going to share with y'all. I'm also going to give you a little bit of information about upcoming giveaway. So go ahead and check out the video if you'd like to hear about that. Did you squirt Batman?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. I want to say thanks to Steven at Patty's Potato Peelers. He had me on his live show. It's always a lot of fun. Super nice guy, and he's just kind of fun to hang around with and talk to. I hope any of you that checked in enjoyed it too. And I know I enjoyed seeing you all clock in there. So hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, and ciao to my foreign viewers. So I'm going to have the giveaway. I'll be talking about it more, but I'm celebrating going over 1,000. I know I did that in December, but I just didn't want to mess with this till later. And so the giveaway is going to be January 20th at 9 a.m. And I'm going to be promoting that more, put more information up there for you so you don't forget. But I figured 9 o'clock in the morning you're up, but it's before you go out. So we'll do a quick video, do the giveaway, and you guys can be on your way. One of the knives I'm going to be giving away is this cold steel knife. It's not brand new. I have used it, but it's in excellent shape. It has starred in a video before. It is a beautiful knife. Love this knife. But I'm going to give it away. And so that's going to be one. I'm going to give this Sharps cutlery knife away. This is a pretty cool knife. It is full tang. Pretty knife, well balanced. I like it. It is sharp as a razor, so be careful. And then I am probably going to have a few more things to give away, so you know, stay tuned and keep checking in, and we'll figure all that out probably next week. I'll decide everything that I'm going to give away. All right, so how can you save money on buying these knives, right? If you save money, you can buy more knives. So my wife is always asking me how much I spent on this knife or that knife or this knife or that knife. And I'll always tell her, hey, I saved $40 on this knife. And she'll say, but how much did you buy it for? And I said, well, you know, I paid $65 for it. But it was $105, so I saved you $40, baby. And she always tells me it doesn't make her feel any better. I still spent $65. So anyhow, I broke this up into philosophies or principles, if you will. And those are traits that you can use, make a habit of to save you money when you're out buying knives. And then the other one is techniques, and that's an actual thing that you could do to save money when you're out buying knives. So let's go ahead and look at the philosophies. Okay, the first one is patience. That sounds kind of ridiculous, but it really can save you hundreds of dollars. It can save you hundreds of dollars on new knives by waiting for a time period when these knives go for a lot less. I'll talk to you and share with you about when those times are under techniques, but that's how it works, you know. On the internet, patience is just waiting for that knife to reach a level that you know it's worth. A lot of times they're way overvalued, and you just need to walk away and come back, and eventually you're going to get the knife that you want for the price that you want. But we see these knives, we want them. Man, I'm looking for a knife just like this, and I want it so bad, and you just jump on it. But I'm going to give you some more philosophies that kind of work with patience to help save you money. The second one is knowledge. So knowledge is knowing a little bit of something about what you want. Okay, you have a knife you're interested in, you start looking for it. Take the time to know a little bit of something about the knife. Is it highly collectible? So you'll see knives going for, I see it all the time, $100, $200, and the knife isn't even collectible. It's worth like $20. And so having that knowledge will keep you from making a mistake and getting a knife, spending more for a knife that you really, shouldn't be spending. I'll give you a couple examples. So this is a Robertson large. This is a beautiful knife. It is a large Congress knife in pretty good condition. It has some blade wear, but it's not horrendous, and it's in really excellent condition for a Robertson. So I saw this, I wanted it, but I looked at the model number of this knife, and it doesn't show up anywhere. So I have a bunch of collector books and bunch of different ones, and about 4 different listings of model numbers for Robertsons, and didn't come up. So I looked this knife over really carefully, and even though I couldn't find a model number for it, it doesn't look like this knife has ever been broken apart to me. And so I just trusted my gut, and I went ahead and got it. A couple weeks later, I was able to get a Robertson catalog, and when I looked in the catalog, this model number was listed. So it's an obscure model number, probably rare, that it's not listed in any other reference except the Robertson catalog. And that's what you need to understand when you're looking at a knife. Knowing something about that knife tells you what it's worth. This knife here, same way. I bought this knife for $10, I believe. It's a beautiful mother of pearl lobster. It's from it's a Schrade. And as soon as I saw this knife, immediately I knew it was worth something, because Schrade doesn't produce knives in mother of pearl. This knife and one other model is the only model that they produced in mother of pearl. It's very rare. Not only that, if you look at the tang stamp, it's Schrade Walden, New York. So in 1953, they added USA to the tang stamp, and that dates this knife to 1953 because they first made this model in 1953. And so, really good deal on this fabulous knife, and it's rare. And that's because I had a little bit of knowledge. I knew Schrades didn't produce mother of pearl. They were all synthetic. So that's how, knowing, having a little bit of knowledge. This knife I bought for $13. It dates to the 1840s. It's genuine silver braid, inlaid in ivory. I can look at this and tell that's not celluloid, okay? Not only that, they didn't start making celluloid till 1876. So it's genuine ivory. And a very highly collectible knife company and knife. And I just had a little bit of knowledge and was able to pick this knife up for $13. Nobody wanted it. So the third philosophy or principle is negotiate. Learn to negotiate. And so we're just so conditioned in American society to just buy something for the price that it is. But all around the world, people barter and negotiate for things. You go to Italy, you go to a store in Italy, and you can negotiate the price on something, So they just want to make a sale, and they're willing to do whatever they can. You could do the same thing in America. So I'm going to cover that under techniques. You can't really do that with Blade HQ or Smoky Mountain Knife Works or Chicago Cutlery, but you can any other area. You can do it on the internet through eBay. You can do it face to face in pawn shops, flea markets, and places like that. So we'll talk about that more in technique. The fourth principle is set a limit. So that comes into knowing a little bit about the knife you're looking for. And you just have to do a little bit of research. It's not hard. If you go to eBay and you look up Ulster Boy Scout knives, they'll list all of them. You can scroll through, and in a short amount of time, you get an idea of what the value of those are. They'll range between, $20 for really poor examples to $100 for very fine examples that are older. And so that's part of having that knowledge. You set a limit. Why is that? Because it's addictive when you start buying these things, the auction. You start bidding against somebody, maybe more than one person. You become determined to get this knife, and you end up paying way more than you wanted to pay for it or that it's worth. And so what I do is, if I think this knife is worth $40, when it's past $40, I'm done. I walk away. You'll always find another one. This is a good example right here. I found it in a pawn shop for $9, and this thing is absolute pristine condition. You can still see the etch in there, Boy Scouts of America. Official knife. See if I can get it in. There it is, right there. And paid $9 for it. So you'll get it. Just set a limit, walk away, have some patience, and you'll save a lot of money on these knives. So the next one is walk away. We already talked about that a little. If the knife is not worth the limit you set for it, walk away. There'll always be another one. You'll come across them. You'll find them. And it's just amazing how often you can, like, if you overpay for a knife, the next week you'll find the same one for less. So set your limits, know what it's worth, and learn just to walk away. It's hard to do sometimes, but I've seen a lot of knives. I just missed one a couple of weeks ago, sold for $43. I would have paid $60 for it. It was Christmas, so I wasn't spending the money, and I kind of regret that. But sometimes you'll feel that way, but you'll get it. So another one is compromise. So say this was a case, you're looking at this case knife, you want to add it to your collection. It's in bone, but it's $250. If you want to compromise, oftentimes you can find them in a different material, like slick black, rough black, or a synthetic material, or wood, and they're less than half the price. So you could pick a knife that would be going for $250 in bone, you can pick up for $85, oftentimes in better shape. And so some of these more obscure model numbers of knife companies will really reach up there because collectors are wanting to get a hold of one. And if you just want an example of it, of that model number, compromise a little, get it in wood instead of bone, and you can save hundreds of dollars. Then again, you may want to have that example in bone and be willing to pay for whatever. But that is a way you can save hundreds of dollars, is just by compromising a little bit. I do that a lot. I got a lot of case knives that are really nice in a different scale material. Um, the last thing is trust your gut, right? So I'm telling you to be knowledgeable, to be patient, to set limits, to know what the knife is worth, maybe compromise, but sometimes it pays to trust your gut. This knife here, when I purchased this knife for $3, this is a Schrade Cutlery company knife made before 1946, and it is absolutely gorgeous, in great shape. There's a little, it's more like a stain than a pitting there, but let's call it pitting. But the geometry of the blade is almost 100%. You hear the snap. It's just in great shape. But when I bought this knife, you couldn't see the colors. You couldn't see the black. You could barely see these lines. And it was all kind of a dusty white on here. And you really couldn't see any color or anything. All the metal was red, all of it. And so it had facial rust on it. But I could look at that in a close up and I could see it wasn't bubbled up. It wasn't really tough rust. And I just had this feeling that this is a good knife. And it was listed as unbranded because it was so red you couldn't see the brand mark. And you can see that it's a beautiful marking on there, Schrade Cutlery Company. Nice and deep and clear. And just a really nice knife. $3. Here's one right here. It kind of looks funky. This coloring on here, I never really seen one like this before. That's what attracted me to the knife. It was out of a antique dealer. You open it up, it says Cornwall Knife Works, Connecticut. So there is a knife company called Cornwall out of New York. They're not very collectible. They usually go for around $20 or $40. This is not that company. And I knew it. It's a different name. It's a Knife Works. And so I had a gut feeling that this thing was a pretty good knife. I went ahead and pulled the trigger, $25. And this is a rare knife that circa 1890 to 1910 in this Cornwall Works. You just don't see their knives every day. Here's another one. This knife right here was in a lot of 5 knives. He showed pictures of all the knives except this one. This only showed up in the group picture where all the knives were grouped together, and it was over in the corner like this. Not a very good picture, but I can tell from the size of it, it's a jumbo serpentine knife. So Mark Levin says all jumbo knives are rare, but most of them are sleeve boards or regular jacks. And serpentine jumbo knives are really rare, and I bought that lot for $11. This knife is in excellent condition. You can hear that snap. It's just brutal, and it's a Utica right there. $11. So sometimes you just gotta trust your gut. So now we're going to get into techniques. I'm going to show you some ways that you can actually make a little bit of money. All right, guys. The first thing you can do is with these knife companies that are online, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Chicago Cutlery, it doesn't matter, any of them. If you go online, they're always talking about, and you go to sales, like Kershaw is listed at $24.99 on sale. That thing, if you look at any time during the year, is going to be on sale for $24.99. That's the retail price. It's not the sale price. But there are times where you can save substantial amount of money. One of them is right now, January. So their stocks are depleted, and they are restocking right now from the holiday season. And because of that, the model numbers will change, and they're genuinely trying to get rid of the old models. And so when you go on in January, because everybody spent money over the holidays, nobody spends money in January. And it's best time of year to buy cars. It's best time of year to buy any product. And knives is no different. So when you go online now, you can see substantial savings, hundreds of dollars off a knife. And it's a good time to do that. There are other times too, like the end of spring. So the same thing happens. They get in new models for the summer. They're trying to get rid of the old models, and you can find knives for substantial savings. The other time I found is after summer. So after summer, they're going to restock for the holiday season. New models. They're trying to get rid of the old ones. You can make some savings there. That's one technique you can use with these knife retailers. The other thing is when you're face to face, so you're in some type of retail establishment, a pawn shop, a antique dealer, or some other type of an establishment. The first thing you want to do is show interest in the knife. So a lot of times these I just don't want to pick a knife up and take it up to the front and say, how much is this? And say it's $10. I want to get them to the counter and ask them how much this is. That shows interest, and if they're interested in making some money, they're going to be willing to deal with you. And the second thing is, don't be afraid to negotiate. And so you ask the price of it, even if it's posted. Again, that tells them you're really interested in buying this knife, and it prompts them to get ready to negotiate. And then you should have, like we said, knowledge. So you should already know kind of what that thing is worth and what you're willing to pay for it. And so once they tell you how much it's worth, you ask them, would you take this for it? So if it's $10, you ask them, would you take $5 for it? And now the negotiation is on. They're going to come back and say, no, maybe they'll come down to $8, right? They'll say, I'd have to have $8 for that. And you come back with $6, and they may say, no, I'd have to have $8. Finally ask them what their best price is. Well, what's your best price on this knife? And they'll come back a lot of times and lower the price. If they stick to $8, you've already saved 20% on the knife. So that's that. The other thing about antique shops is almost all of them will drop their price 10 to 20%. So you get a 20% drop in price just by asking about it. Another technique is, say they wouldn't come off that $10 price for this knife. I'm buying knives, not just a knife. And so I'll pick the knives out I want and put them together. Say each one of these was $10. That's $30. So I'll put them all together and I'll ask them, well, how much will you take for all three of these? And you'd be amazed at how often, instead of saying $30, they'll say, well, I'll take 15 for them. And so by bundling them, he's making more money. He's getting you to buy more knives. And so that's another good way of saving money in a retail establishment, is by bundling them. Okay, so I'll go on eBay. If you look up here, I typed in vintage pocket knife, and this is all the vintage pocket knives have popped up. So one way I do to make money is you go over here to the I don't know what they call this. It's a sort by, and usually the default is best match. And so I'll go in and I'll hit ending soonest right there. And now these are knives that are ending soonest. You can see here that this knife has no bids on it. It's ending in 2 minutes, and it's $14.99. So if you're interested in that knife, you're buying it without any bidders, and you'll save a lot of money doing this. I buy a lot of knives this way. I look up ending soonest, and that tells me what it is. The other thing is the one underneath it, you can see here. Let me get to it a little better. So there's 7 bids on this. It's $21.50. I think this is coming in. Let me see if I can get that in better. Yeah. So it's $21.50. There's 7 bids there on that knife. So again, I'm picking out, okay, that's a pretty good price for vintage trade old timer, right? But there's 7 people bidding on it. So another way I save money is I'll actually go in here and look at the bids. So if you come over here, I've got the app, so I don't even have to do this, but you can click on the bids and it actually shows you all the bids on this knife. And what I do is I figure out you got 4 bidders, right? Some of these may still be involved. Some of them may have dropped out already, but there's 7 bids. And so I'll look at these bids. It started out at $14.99. This 2-something-7 guy went to $18. Another guy came back, or $16. Another guy came back and went to $18. Another guy posted at 18. I don't really understand how he got that. But the original guy came back and bid $1 up above him to 19. This other guy, he's a new guy. He comes on and bids $20. So you see the pattern here. They're basically going $1 or $2 above to try to get this knife at the least possible amount. In the end, this guy 900 is the one who took it up to $24.50. Okay. The other thing this tells me, this guy has won 11 auctions. He's not very experienced. The other guy you're bidding against has 865 that he's won. So that is the guy you're probably going to have to beat. But he's only been going up $1 to get the bid. And so that tells me a lot of information about the bid. And what I'll do is I'll wait till this thing is almost over, where you have like 30 seconds left. Right here, you see 55 seconds left. I would put in a bid, for $30. So these guys are going to have a few seconds to place another bid, but all this bid is going to go up. When I place a $30 bid, it's only going to go up 50 cents to $22. And that's what they're thinking they have to beat. And so with just a few seconds left, these guys are going to be bidding $1 over, and they'll never reach my $30 bid. And so you'll end up taking the knife for a pretty good price that way by looking at the bids in it. And let's get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here one more time. Oops. Okay, here we go. Now we're back to the main screen. Okay, I got to redo this. Just bear a minute. Okay, we're going to wrap this up really quick. I'm going to go to my watch list. And one of the things I do is I'll click on that heart there and like something. So just clicking on that, a lot of times sellers will come back to you with a reduced price, and that is one way to make money on it. But you can also counter that and give them an offer off of that invitation they give you for a lower price. So that gets you in the ballpark of reducing the price of that. But another thing is that puts it on a watch list. I'll go to that really quick. And so this is my watch list right here. And it allows you to just keep track of a bunch of things you're interested in. And again, oftentimes they'll make offers, but as time goes on, you see this listing has been there a while. It allows you the opportunity to make an offer on the knife. If it's not a knife that you can make an offer on, I'll go over here. Right now it's on my active watch list. You can click on here and pull up ones that are ended. And so you can see here, this is an opportunity I missed. I really wanted this knife too, but it's ended here. So oftentimes these guys will relist their listings. And so at some point, this guy's going to come back and relist it so he can sell it. If you look on the tabs, you just look for the ones that say relisted. Let me see if I can find you one here real quick. Oh, goodness gracious. A lot of these are already sold from being relisted. There we go. Here's one right here. So I was watching this this case knife for $74.95, and a lot of times when they relist them, they'll drop the price. And so that's why I look at this list right here. Ones I wanted to get, I missed the opportunity. If you go back, so this is a relisted listing of this price. I can like it again, but you can see it's $74.95. He hasn't dropped his price, but I'll keep these things on here for quite a while, and they'll keep doing this. If somebody doesn't take advantage of this knife right here, the auction time will expire on it, and then he'll eventually start lowering the price, and that's what I'm looking for. So this is not a make an offer type of listing. You either have to accept his price or not at all. And so that's how you can, guys who do this, after a couple months, they'll come back and they'll either drop the price or they'll relist it as a make an offer on it. And you can save a lot of money doing that. And so that's different ways that you can make money on the internet, and little different things that I use to make money. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Keep track, keep looking for those information about the giveaways. That's going to be January 20th, 9 a.m. Central Time. And thanks so much for watching, guys.